Monster Maze Part 3, Creating the Walls in the Maze. If you preview your game, you'll notice that you can use the arrow keys on the keyboard to move your actor left, right, up, and down. However, notice that if you move to the left or to the right, you can actually move the actor outside of the scene, and this works for the top and bottom as well. We don't actually want this. We want the actor to be confined within the scene. So let's go ahead and fix that by creating some walls. Inside of the Actors tab, I'm going to create a new actor, and this is going to act like our walls for our scene. I'm going to click on this actor, and I'm going to rename it. I'm going to rename it Wall. Now I'm going to go back to our scene and drag our walls onto the scene. I'm going to drag 4, and now what I'm going to do is resize them by clicking on them and using the anchor points. I want to resize them so that they're long enough to cover the scene, and then I'll move them to the side and actually use my arrow keys on my keyboard to move them just outside the scene right about there. And I'll do this for each side. Now I have my actors on the scene and repositioned just outside of the scene. It may be hard for you to see, but you can see that little white actor outline around the scene edge. Before we preview our game, let's go ahead and tell our monster how to interact with our walls. I'm going to click on the monster actor in the library, and now what I need to do is actually search for a new behavior called Collide. I find it here in the Behaviors tab, and I'll drag it into the logic stack. Inside of the text field, I'm going to select our wall actor. This will tell our monster actor to overlap and collide with the walls. If I go ahead and preview the game, watch what happens now when I move to the left and hit the left wall. You can see that the actor actually is still going through the wall. It just pushes the wall actor to the side. It also rotates our monster a little bit, you can see that. And this happens for any side of the scene that you preview this on. Let's go ahead and fix that. I'm going to close preview, and what I'm going to do is actually inside of the monster actor, let's fix that rotation issue by scrolling down in the inspector and opening up the physics attributes. There's a couple of different attributes that we need to change here. I'm going to change bounciness to 0 so that way our actor isn't bouncing with the walls, and I want to make sure that fixed rotation is true. You'll know that it's true when it's filled with that checkbox there. We also need to edit the walls, so I'm going to go back to our Actors tab and click on the walls to bring us to the actor editor for this wall actor. Again, I'm going to open up the physics portion of the attributes here in the inspector, and I'm going to change the bounciness to 0 because we don't want these to bounce with any other actors. I'm going to make sure fixed rotation is true because we don't want these actors rotating, and I'm also going to make sure that movable is false because we don't want these actors to move at all. Let's go ahead and preview the game again and see if that fixes the issue. If I move my actor to the left, you can see that the actor is restrained inside of the scene and that our wall actors aren't bouncing out of place either. Great. Well, now let's go ahead and actually create our maze on our level. Again, remember that everything inside of GameSalad is made up of actors, so our maze is actually going to be another actor. Inside of the Actors tab in the library, I'm going to create a new actor, and let's go ahead and go to the actor editor for this actor. I'm going to rename this actor Maze, and what I want to do now is actually change the color so we can see it on the scene. I'm going to change the color values. I'm going to leave the R value set to 1, the G value set to 1. I'm just going to change the blue value to 0, so that way we get a nice yellow color for the actor. Because this is a maze, I also want to make sure that this actor is steady on the scene, so that way it doesn't move. So I'm going to open up the physics and change fixed rotation to true, movable to false, and bounciness to 0. Next, I'll move to the scene editor for our maze level 1, and I'll start to create my maze by dragging our maze actors onto the scene and repositioning them and changing the size. I'm going to go ahead and create my maze right now, and then I'll continue the video. Alright, so I've gone ahead and laid out my maze on my scene, and hopefully you've done that on your end as well. Don't forget that we need to tell our monster actor how to behave with this new maze actor, so let's go ahead into the Actors tab, and I'm going to open up our monster actor. Again, I'm going to add a collide behavior to the logic stack and tell our monster to collide with the maze. Let's go ahead and preview the game and see how that looks. Here we go, we can travel throughout our maze. Make sure that your monster can fit through everything, and if you need to, you can change the starting position of your monster or change your maze to fit your needs. Thank you for watching part 3, and I'll catch you in part 4.